Welcome back to On the Daily. In this episode, I am going to tell you about something that happened a few months ago. I almost broke up with my coach and took a break. And I want to tell you what that was like and where I am now. So keep on listening. Hey, friend. Welcome to On the Daily. I'm your host, Danielle McCleerey, and I am a quantum business coach. I'm the host of this podcast. I'm a multi-six-figure entrepreneur, co-founder and president of Hype You Media, and CEO of Danielle on the Daily Coaching. What I'm really interested in is helping you live a life and have a business that is a full body yes. So through all of my education and all of my experience, I'm bringing you 2 episodes a week where I will guide you and give you the tools necessary to scale a massive, sustainable, and sexy business using your intuition, wealth energetics, and human design. What we can call it is business biohacking. So if you're down for that, then I say let's frickin' go. I'm so glad you're here. Before we jump into this episode, I have to tell you, my mastermind, which is Scale to 6, is getting both an upgrade and a price reduction, which is very exciting. This has been a mastermind for the last 2 years, and the idea of it was to help entrepreneurs scale to 6 figures. And I do that very well. The container does that very well. And I started to notice that I was outpricing the market for what a mastermind could be. So I took kind of the bones of what that mastermind is and has been and decided that Scale to 6 is now going to be an accelerator program, which is, I think, so much better for this container because truly the entire point of Scale to 6 is to help entrepreneurs scale to 6 figures. And that when you're scaling to 6 figures, you need like skills. Like that is skills training. That's not just like get on and like talk about our day and like, shoot the shit while we're on calls together. That's literally like, I'm going to teach you how to build an email list. I'm going to teach you how to build a funnel. I'm going to teach you how to build a scalable product suite that can generate monthly recurring revenue on a consistent basis. I'm going to teach you about pricing. I'm going to teach you about price objections. I'm going to teach you about the mindset required to move from the launch phase of a business to scaling it to 6 figures. And I just started to feel like Scale to 6, the mastermind, A, wasn't doing that as well as I wanted it to, and B, the price that I was charging for a mastermind was more than I would expect someone to invest if they were scaling to 6 figures. So for a multitude of reasons, we've decided to make Scale to 6 an accelerator, and we're officially starting it on August 15th. It will still run in either 6 or 12-month contracts. It will still include, there will be a monthly 60-minute skills training and 2 monthly 60-minute coaching calls, hot seat coaching calls, where I can look at your business plans. I can look at your copy. I can look at your sales pages. I can do all these things and really help you to grasp the skills and the foundation needed to scale your business to 6 figures. There's still going to be a once a year retreat here in Austin. And I'm also going to be hiring support coaches. That's TBD. I need those people they need to be the vibe. So we're going to be really looking out for support coaches, people that can help with copy, people that can help with social media, people that can help with, mindset coaching and different things. It's still going to have a lot of human design. It's still going to have a lot of astrology because obviously, like, I don't think anybody should be building their business if they're not utilizing their type and their authority in certain placements in their astrological chart. So it's still going to have everything that Scale to 6 has, but it's way more focused on the point, which is let's get you to consistent $10,000 to $12,000 months. So you have a 6-figure business, and for less than half the price, which is very exciting. And that means more people can join. That means it can be a bigger container, all the things. It's all good. And it's something I'm really, really excited about. So that container is officially open for registration. You do not need to apply. You can click the link in our show notes to read more about it, and you can register. We will start August 15th. I'm very, very, very excited. If you're scaling to 6 figures, this is Scale to 6 like you've never seen it before, and it's going to be really, really awesome. So I hope to see you inside, and let's get into this episode. A few months ago, I almost quit my coach. I guess like broke up with my coach, quit my coach. And it's kind of a crazy story. And that's why I really wanted to bring it to the podcast today, because I think this is something that a lot of people go through where they go, I'm going to take a break. And in my mind, so let me set the, okay, let's just rewind just a little bit. I, let me set the scene for you. So I have been working with my mentor for almost, a year and a half. So March 2023, February 2023, something like that, is when I first started working with my coach. And since then, my business has more than doubled. What we did in the entire year last year, we did by June this year. So everything that she mentors me on, everything that I've gone through has only been positive. Like I have nothing but incredible things to say about this human. And it's made me, working with her has made me a better coach. It's made me a better mentor. It's made me a better CEO, all the things. So what happened? Nothing, like literally nothing happened. I was at the end of my contract and I had a ton of business expenses coming up. And my brain immediately went to, well, I could take a break from her for a few months. I could go and I could take a break and I could, quote, save some money, that ever lasting excuse we give ourselves. I just will save, I'm going to just take a break so I can save some money, pay off some debt, whatever. And listen, this is not like, if you truly have debt, you're paying off, like whatever. That's not, I'm telling you my story. Anyway, I literally was like, I could pay off some debt. I could take a break. And it was literally me being afraid of all the expenses I had coming up, which by the way was like multiple five figures. Like we're talking like close, somewhere in the $30,000 to $45,000 range. There were expenses that needed to go out. Business tax, some stuff for the retreat I have coming up in October, paying out my vendors, paying out things from, different retreats that I have. Like there's just like business expenses, whatever. So a lot of money going out. And because my business was doing so well, my brain immediately said, well, we don't really need coaching right now. We can get rid of that for a little while. And I, like, y'all, when I tell you I almost listened to it, And here's the thing, like, I actually don't think that you can't build a business without a coach. I know a lot of people who do. I know a lot of people who have never had a coach, and that's great for them. And there's a lot of things that I don't need my coach for, right? Like I don't go to her with like surface level shadowy shit that I can't handle on my own. I don't go to her for things that I already know the answer to. I don't go to her to stroke my ego. I go to my coach, I go to my mentor when I need to implement new systems, when I'm going through something really, really deep that's affecting me for like longer than I'd like it to. I go to my mentor and it helps me move through these things way quicker. And my brain tried to convince me that because my business was doing so well, that we could get rid of the thing that helped it do so well. Isn't that insane? Like literally the thing out of the reason I was like paying all these expenses, all of the things I was afraid of, none of that had to do with my mentor. In fact, the fact that I had kept my mentor and had stayed consistent with my mentor for as long as I had is literally the reason why my business was the way it was and why business felt so peaceful. And so I like took a moment with myself, kind of like slapped myself around a little bit and was like, no, that's not the game we're playing, because never in a million years would I get rid of the thing that's created the most stability, the most consistency, the most peace. That relationship I have with my mentor has calmed my central nervous system so much, and it has brought me so much satisfaction and so much peace, and is the reason my business is going to break $1 million cash this year. And I don't mean that as like, I need my coach to do this. Like, I probably could have hit $1 million cash without her, but I'm going to hit it a heck of a lot faster with her. You know, we're watching the Olympics right now, and all of these like Simone Biles, who is arguably the greatest athlete in the world, okay? She has multiple coaches, and those coaches could never do what she does. They could never do what she does. They couldn't dream of being as athletic as her. And there is a sense of peace. There is a sense of stability. There is a sense of confidence, and there is a sense of sustainability that having those coaches does for Simone Biles that speaks higher than any athletic ability ever could, than she could bring herself ever, than she could ever bring herself. And that is why I immediately like shook myself out of it and was like, no, that's not what we're doing. Like 100%, that's not what we're doing. And I immediately re-signed with my mentor and paid her more per month than I had been paying her. And it just, I'm telling you this because I think it's easy. And I have people in my spaces that do this where they say, I'm going to take a break. And whether their business plateaus or not, I don't know. But one thing I know for sure is that sense of sustainability, that sense of consistency, that sense of I have peace knowing that I'm supported, that is gone when you leave a mentorship container. That is gone. And you can go get another mentor. I'm not saying that like I could have left and gone and got another mentor. And there are other mentors out there that I would like to work with at some point. And not because I think they're better than my current mentor, but because they do something a little bit differently, or, you know, they teach on a skill that I would like to learn. So I will work with other mentors, right? Like the mentor I have now is not the only mentor I'm going to work with forever, but she is definitely the mentor that I'm going to have in my repertoire, because the sense of peace, the sense of stability, the sense of consistency, and the sense of satisfaction that I get knowing that I have that level of support is better than anything else. And so if you're working with a mentor, if you're working with a coach, if you're in a container and you're thinking of like taking a break, or you're thinking of like doing it by yourself for a while, I want you to look at the relationship you have with your mentor. Does that relationship bring you more or less peace? Does that relationship bring you more or less clarity? Does that relationship bring you to decisions slower or quicker? Right? And if your answers to that are like more, and quicker, then what are you doing? Like quite literally, what are you doing? Don't remove the sense of stability and satisfaction, the source of your success, the source of your peace, the source of your satisfaction. Don't remove those things simply because things are going well. And that would be the easiest thing for your ego to release. Because my brain was like, well, you can't not pay your bills. You can't not pay these things. And because my brain, in most situations, my ego is now programmed that like, we don't restrict expenses, we just make more money. But there's sometimes where it still comes back up. And this was a perfect example. This was the perfect example of an instance where my ego was like, well, we should cut back. And I immediately, because I know myself and because I am aware of the feelings that I prefer to have in my body, I immediately was like, no, instead, we'll just make more money. And we did, because I stuck with my mentor. And sticking with your mentor is not a like, see, I never leave. Like, it's not that. It's not this like damsel in distress energy. It's literally choosing to have satisfaction and peace in my business. Like, that's it. Having a mentor consistently that knows me, that knows my business, that knows my relationship, that knows who I am on the inside, that knows what I am afraid of, who knows all the things. Having that level of support brings me more peace, more satisfaction, and more freedom. And it helps me to move quicker. These are the priorities in my life. So why would I ever get rid of those things? I would never get rid of that, ever. So I hope that this is helpful for you, especially if you're someone who is like juggling like where to cut expenses. Instead, just make more money. Just lean. In fact, what I did, instead of like cutting expenses and like breaking up with my mentor, in fact, I just leaned in harder to my mentor. I just utilized her genius in a different way. For so long, she helped me with a lot of the strategic stuff, but I leaned into her on an emotional level, and she reframed a shadow I was having in such lightning speed that I never even had to think about it again. I would not have been able to do that by myself. So my advice is always, instead of removing the one thing in your life that's bringing you peace and satisfaction, even if it's stressing you out in some, like, the number, right? Like every month when $6,800 or $8,000 or whatever, I think total for mentorship, I'm paying about $8,000 a month. When those bills come out of my account, that definitely used to like stress out my central nervous system. It doesn't anymore because I've normalized it. And it's like, it's the cost of, it's the investment of having peace and satisfaction in my business always. Like it's truly that. And there's no number that would take that away. So instead of cutting the source of peace and the source of satisfaction, just make more money and lean into that relationship a little bit more. That is the best advice I can give you. Instead of breaking up, instead of taking a break, instead of removing yourself, lean farther into that relationship because it's there for you. And it's so, so valuable. And on that note, I hope I see you inside of Scale to 6, because that is the kind of support that I give my clients, and why a lot of my clients have been in that container for upwards of 2.5 years, because they choose peace. And I know that that's the kind of life that you want. This like needing to be in fight or flight and needing to like constrict and expand and contract and expand and all these things, like this feast or famine energy you have, you don't want it anymore. And I know that, and you know that. And so this is a way that you can make sure that you don't have that anymore. Instead of pulling out of the thing that brings you the peace, lean in, invest, go all in, make more money. All right, my friends. I'll see you next week. Love you. Bye.